Hello, welcome to another episode of Vibing with Julz, where we explore the world of entrepreneurship. Today, my guest, Gladys Afolayan, she is an entrepreneur and she is going to be joining us. And we're going to be discussing her journey and how family and entrepreneurship, how we figure it out, how we discover it, how we handle the tough times, and how we keep going. So, I'm going to introduce her. She is the CEO of Culture Cosmetology, the CEO of Creative Mindz Beauty Center, and also a hair instructor, among all other things, a wife and mother. Gladys, welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So tell us a little bit more on, your entrepreneur and what makes you an entrepreneur.
First and foremost, Julie rightly said, my name is Gladys Afolayan. I'm a cosmetology instructor and also a beauty, center owner as well. I love doing hair. I love showing people how to make hair. It really fills my heart with so much joy to do what absolutely brings joy to me. I'm a mother of two teenagers, ages 15 and 13. And I've been in the industry for about 15 years, and I'm really happy and blessed to be in such a beautiful industry.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Quite an accomplishment.
Thank you.
We should also mention that our paths crossed in the journey too.
That's right.
At the beginning of her apprenticeship, she did the first part of it with me, which was quite an honor.
That's
You were my first apprenticeship, and apprentice, sorry.
Yeah.
And in learning and growing a lot, and to be able to see, no matter how much time you spend with anybody through your journey, it is such a blessing to see the growth.
Yeah.
And no matter how long somebody's in your journey, always remember they added to your growth.
That's right.
So don't count it up, don't count it down, accept it.
Yeah.
So, when did you discover truly what entrepreneurship meant to you?
I would say dated as far back as when I was still a teenager. Right back from my roots. So my dad, himself, has always been an entrepreneur. He had so many businesses, but my favorite was the school industry because we have a school back home in Nigeria, and I remember when the teachers don't show up from a family of 9, so from a very big family. And my dad, if somebody doesn't show up, automatically one of the kids just become a teacher for that day.
Wow.
And if you don't know what to do, he's like, oh yeah, you just stay in the class and just keep the children, busy until the teacher shows up. So probably as far back as like age of 14, I would say. So being exposed into the industry at a very, very early age kind of gave me an edge, into the industry. So it's almost like whatever you see, you kind of grow, you learn. Sometimes it's even intentional, but it becomes part of you. So growing up, it kind of just forms who you are. And you follow that path and begin to find your own paths along the way. So I would say it's been at least about 25 years now that I've been within the entrepreneurial industry, and I love it. I still
That's
do.
wonderful.
I still do, yeah.
We also want to take note because a lot of you watching will want to compare your story with some of those you hear. Enjoy your unique story, but learn
Right.
from the diversity of every angle and everybody else's story because
Right.
you don't have to follow somebody else's path,
Right.
but you definitely can learn from it in figuring out your own. And so, sometimes we think, I need to choose. And it's not about choosing, is it?
No.
Because sometimes life is chosen for you by the destiny that's
right.
laid before you.
That's right.
And it's a matter of discovering how to figure it out. And many times, up comes different talents
Yes.
or different skill, many offers. Up comes relationships and marriages and, motherhood, parenthood.
Right.
And so I've come across a lot of people who thought, I need to choose. Am I going to be an entrepreneur? Am I going to just stay as an employee? Or do I have to choose only entrepreneurship, not realizing it incorporates everything?
Right.
So when it came to marriage and relationships and children, how did you feel? How did you handle that tug with that commitment, knowing that you already had the entrepreneurial spirit in you? But when the introduction came, how did you handle that tug?
I would say like I've never really been able to separate like marriage or my children or work. Like I said from the beginning, I was born into it. So my children, I've always carried them along. Right from an very early age, I'll tell them, you know what, this is what mommy would do, this is what daddy would do, this is what you would do, even if it means clearing up your toys. That's your own role in my journey to do. So they've always been, part of everything I do. And I will explain to them exactly what I expect from them. And there's really no age limit. So when you start from when your kids are very young, you get them involved into what you're doing and also get them to have a say in the journey itself because
True.
they are part of it. But I find that when I struggle is when I see them as these are my children, this is my husband, this is my life, this is my business. When I begin to segment things into different boxes, that's when it becomes hard. But you won't believe it, sometimes as old as when my kids were like 5, I'll come back and tell them exactly what happened, who pissed me off. And they will say, okay, I'm going to make you feel better, mommy, now. They will go get maybe a toy or pretend they are making some tea for me. So I find that they've always been infused somehow. When I'm at work, I'm at work. I tell them, this is when you need to call mommy. This is when you don't call mommy. If mommy don't answer, you call daddy. If daddy doesn't answer, well, maybe you call 911. Maybe you don't answer. So just always like, they know there's a process to things. They've never really been left behind.
Yes.
So it's never really been a choice of which one comes before the other. It's just finding how to navigate through all of it. If I need to work during the day, well, maybe daddy needs to work during the night. Who's going to take care of them? If daycare is an option, then does it work for our family? If it doesn't work, how do we change things? Maybe he needs to change his career, or maybe I need to work less. It's always like the whole unit. How do we bring every part and make sure that no part is it's not like no part is neglected in a way.
Wonderful. It's such a beautiful blend. Actually, I call it that because you who you are goes with you everywhere you go.
That's right.
So even as an entrepreneur, motherhood still exists.
That's right.
There was an old saying where they used to say, keep work and personal separate. But we discovered psychologically you can't.
No.
Because, say, for example, we've had a difficult morning at home. That same person is coming into work.
That's right.
But you have to learn how to mentally separate the feelings and your approach and your attitude to what you do. But it doesn't mean that the responsibility of that morning is neglected.
That's right.
Right? And so it teaches you how much you're capable of discipline.
That's right.
How much you're capable of creating boundaries.
That's right.
You understand? And these are the words that you learn as an entrepreneur and growing. And so for the hopeful entrepreneurs out there, we want you to learn from us.
Right.
Learn to get it faster than we did.
Right.
We didn't do it the wrong way. We do it the only way we knew how. So now we're here, voices saying, this is how you can do it differently. This is how you can do it quicker and have a success story without having to waste unnecessary time.
Right.
And it's one of the things that also makes your day. Some mothers would be like, just make sure when I'm at work, the kids can't call me. Yes, they could.
Exactly.
But you create boundaries to say, you can call me after school. I get the call that says, hi, mommy, how was your day? And sometimes the clients like seeing. It depends on your environment, too.
Yes. Yes.
They like seeing that you're actually interactive, you're not a neglectful parent, or that there's a human part to you. You're not just that superwoman at work, just going about everything going, oh, I got the focus on and I can be here. They want to know you have vulnerable moments. They want to know that the kids have access to you.
Right.
Because they themselves too, you may not know their story, but they're watching your story.
Yeah, and also learning from you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it is so exciting.
Yes.
And I love the eloquence in which you just laid it out. You definitely are a veteran in this part. Congratulations. That is such an accomplishment personally,
I'm still growing, but thank you.
as we all are. One of the things that I've discovered and really enjoy is that call that you can get that just disrupts your day, because sometimes you have a day that's just on a roll, the energy is high, the momentum is just back to back. Sometimes those are the days you don't even get a break to eat. And then all of a sudden you get a call that just says, "Hi mommy, how you doing?" Or, "Hey, just checking on you," from a family member. And you're grateful for it.
Mood, yes.
Because sometimes they'll be like, "I'm so sorry to interrupt you," then you're thinking, no, that was a welcome interruption.
You're right.
So you learn to incorporate all of it, and it enhances you, it adds to your day.
That's right.
Just based on your attitude to it. And you have a really great attitude, and you teach something really valuable. Keep growing, keep doing that. Because it makes us be pillars in our community,
Yes.
and we want to set good examples.
That's right.
I am really proud of you.
Thank you. And just before we go forward, I really want to say, I remember when you were doing the introduction, and you did mention that I was your first apprentice. I don't think I really had the time or the chance to actually add to it that I had a really great, experience being with you. And being so new in the industry, I just want to say now on camera, it's very important to say things, in public. You can be saying it in private as much as you want to, but this is for everybody watching. Julie has really been very inspiring in my journey, and just a great mentor. There is something when people say a lot of things, but when you watch the person closely, I've really learned a lot, and those lessons has been part of who I am today. So I just want to draw a little bit of the focus on her and just give her the credit and the honor that she deserves as someone that's really helped shape my journey. So thank you so much, Julieta, Raul, Modest. I'm not sure which one is off, but that was
They're
at the
all
time.
me. They're
Yeah,
all
exactly.
me.
So in all shades of your glory, I just want to acknowledge the part that you played in making me who I am. I know it's a podcast, but hey, sorry, I just have to get it off.
It's okay.
And can we continue now?
Thank you. Gladys, thank you. Thank you. Truly, thank you. So we know that being the boss is such a focus.
That's right.
And it's just such a glam part that's advertised.
Yeah.
But it's not all about the glam. There are glam factors to it.
Right.
I mean, we're sitting here, and they'd be like, "Oh, look at two boss ladies," but that's not our priority.
No.
And it's not, some of us, it's not even a title that we like, because being an entrepreneur is not about gaining a title.
Right.
I am a hairstylist by trade, but my name is Julieta Raul, and that's who I am. And so it's also learning that the character who you are, and developing that character and growing. And that is the focus. But there's such a focus on being a boss. But being a boss is not the priority. Being a leader is the priority. And that's the thing about an entrepreneurial journey.
Yeah.
And to be able to be that leader is about recognizing it in yourself. The balance of character in being a wife, a mother, a business owner, multiple business owners. You understand?
Right.
How do you feel when it comes to, yes, you are a hairstylist by trade,
Yes.
but the different responsibilities that comes in there. You are an instructor in one and a leader. How do you feel sometimes when it comes to navigating being the boss in the same moment and being the instructor?
For me, I think it depends on what is really going on in that very moment. being a boss, like you rightly said, is being showing that leadership example. And you can't really be a boss if you don't have people who are looking up to you. So the way you show up as a leader matters a lot, because you can say as much as you want to say, but when people who are, looking at you up there as their boss, or, as someone they really look up to, what do they really see? What do they really see? So whatever they see, they will respond back to you based on what they see. And sometimes it's good to always take that back and like, hey, how do I make, amendments to how I want to, show my leadership skill? Because going around and just being a boss, anybody can be a boss, but it just takes
True.
time. It just takes time, because if they are following you, then there must be something in there for them that they want to follow. But if there's nothing, you can still be a boss with no followers.
That is very true. So with that now, there is the aspect of it where a lot of people, they're looking and they're like, oh, they've made it and they know what they, or they don't know, they don't understand what I'm going through. I got a job that's steady, but I have a family that I need to feed, and I'm really torn. I have this talent, but to start a business, it's so hard. And the first thing we tend to stress about is the financial challenge,
Yes.
right? What would your advice be to someone who is trying to figure out taking up the challenge of entrepreneurship just because they feel I will deprive my family of something, because the financial burden, it is such a responsibility.
I would say start right where you are. Honestly, you don't really need money to start.
So true.
It's money. Some people give them money. Money is not never the problem or the solution to anything. You just need to start exactly where you are. So I remember when I started, and just like you rightly say, sometimes people will ask you, okay, in your journey, when did you discover this? When did you discover that? For me, it's always been a part of me. I can't really put like date and time and say I have a timeline, but I can't really remember the day I woke up and be like, okay, so now I really want to start this business today. In my mind, I probably have started the business in my mind 5 years back.
True.
So when it gets to a point where money is now the need, well, I've already established the fact that this is valuable, even without the money.
Well said.
Without the money being a factor of contention. Because if, let's say you have a spouse and you wake up one day and like, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to change the world, and this is what I will do. It's kind of confusing, But if you maintain this is what you want to do and just little progress here and there, maybe waking up 1 hour early, writing things down, maybe going to bed late, writing things down. So, honey, remember I said I'm going to change the world in this way, so this is what I'm doing. It will come a time he might even be the one to say, you know what, this is my first contribution to this thing you want to do. But if you just go, I want to do it today, I want to do it now, I want to leave my job, I want to quit, you must be a very confused person.
True.
So if your spouse does not believe in you, why should other people believe in you? Why should it takes almost layers of, your children might even need to believe in you too. Family, people who are very close to you. And then you begin to build this ally where people are, I think you can do that. They resonate with what you're trying to do. Before the money, we're not even talking about the money. It's just an idea. It's just a simple thought of what you want to do. So you just start from there. It's just a matter of time. All the finances that you need will just catch up with you, because now you've built trust within yourself, even within your spouse. I think they know where you're going. So it's easier for them to buy into that dream. I'm not saying the money will just be there, ta-da, because you have all these things figured out, but you're already halfway the journey, and the universe is also listening to you. But today, what I find confusing, I see people say, oh, I want to start this, how do I get money for it? But there is no track record of anything that they've done. Even with their business that they, like their, let's say, 9 to 5, they are not even best in that capacity. Like, there's really nothing, but they are looking at someone somewhere going, if this person can do it, I can do it. Yes, we can all wish for things that we want to do. But if there is no, track record to show that this is where you are headed, then it's really hard to expect to have all the finances,
In other words, have a plan.
Yes.
You have to have a plan.
Yes.
You can wish all you want in your mind. It's not going to happen.
No.
You always have to prove yourself.
Right.
And it's one of the things, personally, I learned the harder way. I just know I had an idea. And the world, for me, people would say I lucked out. But I didn't. I was very good at what I did.
Yes.
And so the clients just kept piling up. So the base was set for me.
Yes.
And the same thing with your journey.
Right.
You look around, you grew up into the environment.
Yes.
So you did not ask for that.
No.
It's as if, your gift is just handed to you, but it's a matter of discovery.
Yes.
There are some people who have, there's an earnesty and, something burning is like, why am I being pulled in that direction?
Right.
It's all discovery. It doesn't come out the same way for everybody.
Right.
But you have to have a plan with that idea.
Right.
You need to put it down on paper. That has to be the next step, And the thing is, is just you don't realize how much is in you until you start to pour it out.
Right.
Because you will write the idea on one level today, next week, it will be something else being added to it. And that's called building.
Yes.
And you forget that you're building an idea. The passion increases.
Right.
And it reaches different levels. And that's what makes it fun.
Yeah, it is. And just to add to it, and as you go, because for you, and again, I'm very careful not to say that you need to have all the clarity at the beginning. You don't.
No, but nobody does.
You don't, because some people come and say, "Oh, I figured it all out." I'm like, it might be a process. Like you said, when you write it down, just make sure you are working on it.
Yes.
Don't just write it down and it's just there. Make sure you're putting, even if it's just 1 foot in front of the other, every day, little by little. And then it begins to expand, like you said.
Yes.
You begin to get people to align with it as you grow. It will come to a point you will just know this is it.
It takes a life of its own.
Yeah.
Because
That's right.
that's the thing about discovery.
Yes.
Don't think you control it. You're a contributor to it.
That's right.
And then you have to learn to have the respect of knowing it's not just you.
Right.
And then, like you said that so well earlier on, that you will realize that everybody around you will recognize it. Because no matter how much you explain to, say the closest person to you would be your husband.
Right.
Or your best friend, or your mom, whoever that person is, and you say to them, I have this idea. That idea means nothing until you start to put a plan into place. Prove,
Right.
proving to them, this is the idea. Let me show you what the idea is. And then that investment in yourself, you always have to be your number one investor.
Right.
The money is not, the money, yes, so for example, you may have access to money, but without the idea and a plan, the money would be a waste.
It will be a waste, yeah.
And how are you going to build on the money if you don't have the idea to increase it?
Yes.
You need something to feed it. So you need all of these aspects.
Yes. That's right. Yeah, rightly said. Like, money shouldn't be the first thing on the agenda. It should come as a result of, I have this and I've gotten to the part where I need to go to market. And I need money to go to market. But when you're going to market, it's not an idea phase anymore.
That's
you're
right.
already trying to implement something. So if I can't see what you're trying to implement, I don't live in your head. Even if I have the money, it might not be a good idea to give it to you because I'm trying to save you.
That's
from
true.
death.
And also save you from
And
yourself.
save you from yourself.
Oh my goodness. That part, I tell you, it is one of the things that, even you start realizing I need to protect me from myself sometimes, because one of my biggest learning lessons has been to be patient with myself.
Yes.
You have all these ideas and you're thinking, oh, I need to do this now. Sometimes it's a 5-year plan idea.
Right.
Sometimes it's a 1-week plan idea. And sometimes it's a just right now, 5 minutes. Okay, this is one step I need for now, so that way I can work towards the other one. Allow yourself to grow.
Yes.
It is.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the fun part. Let's talk about the fun part. The fun parts. Creativity has no schedule.
Oh no.
Creativity has no bounds.
Right.
You would be sleep deprived and you couldn't sleep. It's like, get some rest.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to
Brain
get
is
some
going.
rest. But then as soon as you're about to close your eye, be like, oh, just let me write
Let me
this
write
down.
it down. Yes. It's good actually to say, let me write it down. Sometimes you're like, well, yeah, I'll remember by the morning. By the morning, it's gone.
It's not
like
just
a
gone.
flash.
You're on the next thought.
Yeah, so that one has already been crumbled.
Oh my goodness, I'm telling you. And the thing is, we have these smartphones. You don't have to get up and grab pen and paper no more. Just grab that phone and, just put that voice
right.
note in there so that way
That's
you
right.
don't.
Very important.
Yes.
Yeah.
What do you want to tell the hopeful entrepreneurs?
I will say they should really have fun. I love when you mention the fun part. Everything I do, I honestly have fun. I enjoy it. So sometimes I know some people go to my page, they're like, oh my goodness, this is just you, Gladys. But I see you do all these other stuff in the shop. I'm like, yes, this is me. This is me. I can create something else for everybody else, but this is it. So enjoy the process. It's not meant to be, it's not easy. It's not easy, but at the same time, it shouldn't be something that takes away the joy. If it's taking away the joy, then maybe you're not doing the right thing. I believe in working, I believe in working hard. But hey, the thing is, I might be up to 3 a.m. trying to do something. I'll still wake up at 9 o'clock and show up to work and load up myself with coffee.
Yep.
But when I look back on the things I was able to do, if it fits me,
It's worth it.
yeah, it's so worth it that if I'm talking to somebody, oh my goodness, you slept for, I'm like, don't feel sorry for me. I don't even feel sorry for myself.
Thank you.
Don't
That's
waste
true.
your sorry on me.
I got this.
So sometimes I just don't say it. Because I don't get it. So what I would say, make sure you're really happy with what you're doing. You're having fun, no matter what it is, because you need to sell it to yourself first before someone else will buy it. I remember somebody asking me, I want to do this business. I'm like, if you're the buyer on the other side, what do you think? Do you think you really need this? So sell it to yourself first. And if you can buy it, then don't expect others to. Sorry.
That's true.
Because they will see through it. So that's one thing I would like to leave with all the entrepreneurs coming. It will be good to see a lot of you guys. But like we rightly said at this point, have fun.
Definitely have fun. And
Have
find
fun.
balance. Find some balance.
Ooh.
Find some balance for your health. Make sure your health is involved in your plans. Make sure that sleep is part of your plans,
a big
because
one.
you figure out there will be days where you'll get an hour and a half sleep, but you do not plan to only have an hour and a half sleep.
Oh, yeah.
So there were days where I will work 18 hours a day, and I am going and going. And either my team or the clients, they say to me, Julz, how do you keep going? I'm on a mission that week, or for those 2
Yes.
weeks. I'm on a mission. I remember one Christmas, I went 21-day stretch.
Wow.
21 days.
Okay, I'm
I
not there
did
yet.
not realize it until it was done. Somebody said, Julz, when was the last day off? And I said, and I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
But I was on a mission. The schedule was busy.
Yeah.
The team needed me. The business had some demands. So guess what? It comes with that demand.
Yes.
But guess what? When I rest,
You rest.
I rest.
That's right.
Because when that next passion drive comes, I need to
ready.
be able to ready for it.
Yeah.
So don't focus on just one aspect of,
Grinding,
Oh no.
Going.
Or hustling.
hustling.
Don't hustle.
Yeah.
Because hustle comes with, physical exertion and just going and just grinding nonstop. Just try to find the balance.
Balance, yeah. Create it for yourself if you can find it.
Yes.
Create one.
And how are you supposed to do anything if you don't take care of you? What are you who are you going to tell the idea to if you're not there to give it?
Right.
You understand?
Yeah, right.
So
Yeah, it's like you said, like balance is very important. Like if I say, okay, yeah, I'm working at 9, but at the same time, I also find the time to catch up
Yes.
a little bit, you know. And then there's something about seasons, like you mentioned. You know, it doesn't mean, oh, you just, sometimes you just have to do what you got to do. Don't worry, you're not going to die. Do it, get it out of the way. And like Julz says, when she rests, you're resting. You need to give yourself, well, if you want everything to go, you think you have these 24 hours, that is enough, 24 hours for the kids, 24 hours for the husband, for your business, for yourself. It might not, no, it won't even work. So sometimes you have to like go into the rush and get done what you, like when you walk. And when you find time to rest, make sure you're resting. That's the only way you can find the balance. It's not like maths. It has to be everything on schedule. Sometimes you go off schedule.
Yes.
But you bring yourself back to where you can find that rest so you can keep going. Like
And
you said.
have no expectations.
Oh,
My goodness, I remember thinking, I had in planning, don't have an expectation with the plan. A plan is just something that guides you, keep you balanced.
Yeah.
Be open. You have to be flexible. You cannot go into entrepreneurship and be rigid and say, well, I'm going to start this business today, and in 6 months I'm going to be working
gonna be
3
ready.
days a week.
Yes.
And then I'm going to have employees.
Yes.
You're in for a shock.
That's right.
Because you have to allow the journey to, there's so much about yourself you're going to discover.
Right.
I discovered that I am not shy and I'm not quiet.
You're never shy. This woman cannot be shy for one day in her life.
I thought I was quiet and shy.
Can't even be shy to save herself. Right. She can't. It's not possible.
And I discovered I am such a bold personality. But in that learning about myself, I learned boundaries. And that was what really helped me to find and discover my true self. And so I say to my clients all the time, I said, I grew up on this floor. I say, God grew me up behind this chair and with the clients around. And you go through the journeys of, losing customers and gaining customers.
Yes.
You go through the stages. You have to allow the journey, and all of it, you have to look at it with a good attitude. When something goes, what you think is something going wrong, look to see, what can I learn from this?
Right.
What is it? Did I do something that I should have done differently?
Right. Yeah.
Don't just look at it as that I did something wrong. What do I learn that I can do differently? Your vocabulary changes as you grow,
Right.
Yeah. And for me, my favorite word in this journey is discovery.
Oh, nice. Yes.
It's discovery, discovery of self, discovery of the levels of talent. Because I look at you and I remember when you started and we talked about braids.
Yes.
Like it was, the number of braids we can do and all the different. Now we're sitting there and we're like, braids. Oh yes, braids. Because now there's a whole world around
out
it.
there.
Because now, let's say we're gonna take braids as an example. Now you have doing braids,
Yes.
still learning new levels,
Yes.
creating techniques, teaching techniques,
Right.
mentoring those who want to learn techniques,
Right.
mentoring those who want to teach techniques. Because we've both taught instructors,
Right. Yes.
right? And so who would have thought?
Exactly.
It's discovery.
Yeah. And be open-minded.
Yes.
Yeah. It doesn't mean you should take everything, but allow yourself the freedom to just absorb things that resonates with you along the way.
If you're going to do this journey, I say unleash yourself into it.
Yeah.
Let it build you. Let it create you. And, it is a beautiful world,
It is. It is.
Then you can enjoy the glam.
Yes.
Days like this, you can just sit here. These are the days where we sit there and you can take your time, put some powder on your face,
Yes.
fix the hair, fix everything, and say, this is where I enjoy moments. You create moments through the journey so that when the tough times come,
can always
when the challenges come, you can definitely say, I'm embracing every part of it.
True.
Gladys, I want to thank you
My
for
pleasure.
joining us today. This has been so much fun.
Yeah, it is.
And just knowing that it's never easy. But these are the things, the passion, the creativity, the relentless, attitude that we discover within ourselves.
Yes.
It comes with every aspect of it. And I am happy to be on this journey.
Thank you. Good to see you.
And I am even more graciously honored to not be in the journey by myself. Because it's one of the things you look around and you said, I'm not alone. I'm not alone. And this is how we build community, is you investing in yourself, somebody else seeing it,
Yeah.
and then we put ourselves together and we grow and we thrive. Gladys, thank you so much again for joining us today. And it's the authenticity in this journey. I like seeing it shown, and I like it being focused, because we want anybody who is just going through this journey to understand it can be done. We're still doing it. We're still learning. We're not the best, because we always want to be better than we are yesterday.
Yes.
And growing is always, always welcome.
Right.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you again for viewing with us today. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to talk to your friends, and add your comments if you want to give and share with us tidbits about your journey. It's all welcome. Have yourself a wonderful entrepreneurial journey. See you next time.